Most people, when you're out there, it's like a selfish program. But when you really decide that you want to help, you have all the desires to help someone else. And so that's what I do today. I look for ways to help someone else. That's why I put this program, the curriculum together, so that others can be seen and to know that the recovery is possible.
In other well, there's a psychological thing in reference to how you feel in reference to somebody else, and giving, and that kind of psychological thing that helps to promote what you're trying to do. That is to help promote your ability to be able to move beyond drugs and substance abuse. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, exactly what you're saying, because at one point in time I was, when anything is necessary, please do it. If you got cancer, you got to go to the cancer doctor. If you got a backache, you need to go to, whatever it takes is what you got to do. So at one point in time I was taking medication, and I mean, I felt like it helped me, but then again I had bad days and good days. But once I figured out, once you learn to look at yourself, self-inventory is the #1 thing. Look at what it does to your family. Look at what it does to your kids. Look at life passing you by. When you get to that point right there, today I am free of all of those things, the medication and everything, because I deal with me every day. If something upsets me, I got to take a look back. Oh, what part does this play on me? Because everything starts in the mind. They say, oh, I relapse. You got to think about going over it to get that drug before you actually use it. So it's a mind-altering substance, but it's also a mind-altering turnaround. Mm-hmm. And so anything that you can do in order to look within yourself in a real sense, and determine that it is your responsibility. You got yourself into this situation. Now you ought to be able, now you certainly could expect help, and other people will help you, but they cannot help you if you're not willing to help yourself. Correct. I've heard that, that's a statement that I've heard people say, that you can't help anybody until they're willing to help themselves. Would you apply that to what you're doing here? Oh yes, I mean, I had people pulling me up. I had one of my friends said, well, everywhere I went it would be like a nuisance at first. Here he comes trying to tell me, well, get it right, get it right. And I heard it, and I go back to that. But no one can do it. You have to do it for yourself. And it is possible to do. And as I say, every day is still not a good day. Being clean and sober does not just make normal problems go away. But it gives me the ability to deal with them in a normal sense, in a sense that it's going to be okay anyway. As long as I don't pick up, I'm good. That's what it's about. As long as you don't pick up. What do you mean pick up? As long as you don't use. Because I found out there's not a problem big enough to use. Those excuses, oh, well, so-and-so happened, or this, somebody said this, that's not, those are excuses. Those are excuses. So. And you think that a large number of folks generally come up with some kind of justification in terms of why they are in the situation that they're in. Is that what we're saying? Yes, sir. I justified it for years. Oh, I did this. Oh, I lost that. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Those were all excuses. You know, and then within yourself. But the major factor, the substance abuse brings a lot of depression. And depression will have you wanting to hide out, wanting not to do anything. But when you see those things coming, it's time to go to a meeting. It's time to call a sponsor. And that's one of the main things. I have a young lady I sponsor today. I started out with 4. I'm down. I have 1 today. She's been with me over a year. And we do the step studies together. We read together. We fellowship together. We call, we talk, we share. When I have a problem, I call her. When she has one, she calls me. AA meetings, I say, find a meeting somewhere. If you need to find a church, find a way out because you know yourself better than anybody knows you. When you know that you're not feeling the way you should feel, it's time to go and admit to someone, hey, I'm feeling this way, and desire for help. You know, I'm reminded, Ms. Murray, that when we talk about love and et cetera, that's essentially what you're expressing now, which is to say that when you meet an individual, you have to show love and they can show love. But when we recognize that there are 3 elements of love: respect, understanding, goodwill, which is to say that if you can bring these ideas into your life, that is, you want to respect everybody, you want to love everybody, you want to understand everybody, and you want to have goodwill to everybody. And I think that that's the definition of love. And if you have that, then it comes off, and other folks can help you in terms of whatever your situation might be. Do you find that to be true in terms of what you're doing? I found that to be very true. Maya Angelou made a statement one time, something that she shared, and it's true, that God brings rainbows even in storms, which means somebody can tell you, you can be having a bad day, somebody can smile.
that's a rainbow to you. Even in the midst of storms, there are times, but you have to look beyond your situation. And one of the quotes that I love more than any quote I've heard is Helen Keller. When they asked her what would be worse than being blind, she said having sight and no vision. Because if you don't look out and see that you can make it, that there's another way out, then you're always going to be there. Even a blind person can still see because it begins in your heart and in your mind. Once you learn to love yourself, everything else follows naturally. So recovery is possible.
And so, Ms. Murray, you think that it is possible to replicate your program and do your program, and folks who are involved. Now, where are you carrying this program to? I mean, who have you tried to influence in terms of making this a program that people can come to class and deal with, and et cetera? How are you doing that?
I've shared the program with drug court in another town, a small town from here, and it passed the drug court system. They overviewed it. So the program is passable and it's doable, and it can be on anywhere. Anybody that would like to utilize the program, I have no problem with sharing it with them, because I know it saves lives, because it saved my life.
And so you've got an internet connection in reference to this particular program?
Yeah, I have a website.
What's your website?
The website is www.tawanda552.st@gmail.com. That's tawanda552.st@gmail.com.
Now, if they search that, can they find this without your web page address?
No, we're changing the website now because we're putting a curriculum, adding an extra curriculum to it. But for right now, this is how they can get the information.
But this is a program that you want people to become familiar with, and that if they become familiar with, they can become more involved.
Correct.
And that it might be that key.
Yes, sir.
That's necessary. And let me thank you, Ms. Murray, for bringing that excellent information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and good morning.